BYE Boost Your English Episode 5 Musical Terminology, the Cultural and Technical Landscape. Welcome back to BYE Boost Your English, your personal guide to building precise and useful vocabulary for real-life conversations. I'm Sonia, and in this episode, we're diving into the essential language needed to discuss a highly exciting topic: musical instruments, notation, and culture. Understanding these terms allows you to talk clearly and richly about music, whether you're a professional musician or just an enthusiastic listener. Major scale. This creates bright, happy, and stable emotions in music. Its structure creates a sound that is typically perceived as optimistic or complete. The major scale forms the foundation for most anthems and triumphant melodies. Minor scale. The minor scale evokes feelings like melancholy, introspection, drama, or tension. Its altered structure, specifically the lowered third degree compared to the major scale, creates a sound that the listener perceives as sad, dark, or serious. Clef. A symbol at the beginning of the stave that sets the pitch of the notes. Common ones are the treble clef and bass clef. Time signature, two numbers placed at the beginning of the stave that define the rhythm. The format is similar to a fraction, such as 4/4. The top number indicates how many beats, or pulses, are counted in each bar. For example, in 4/4, there are 4 beats per bar. The bottom number indicates which type of note gets 1 beat. For instance, a 4 signifies that the crotchet gets 1 beat. Odd time signatures, rhythmic structures where the bar cannot be divided evenly into groups of 2 or 3 beats, such as 5/4 or 7/8. They produce complex, asymmetrical, and often dynamic rhythms, frequently found in genres like progressive rock. Fender Stratocaster, one of the 2 quintessential electric guitars. It is known for its bright, versatile, and clear tone. A key component is often the Floyd Rose locking tremolo system, a technical innovation that allows the player to manipulate the pitch wildly without the guitar falling out of tune. Gibson Les Paul, famous for its warm, thick, and sustaining sound. Its heavier construction contributes to its rich tone. Stradivarius, a violin, cello, or viola made by the Stradivari family during the 17th and 18th centuries. Their precise construction and unique varnish give them unparalleled acoustic quality. Rhodes Piano, an electric piano famous for its mellow, bell-like, and sustain-rich tone, essential to jazz fusion, 70s funk, and R&B. Hammond B3 organ and Leslie cabinet. The B3 uses spinning electromagnetic discs, while the Leslie cabinet spins its internal speakers. The combination generates that famous, deep, and swirling sound heard in blues, gospel, and classic rock. Yamaha DX7, a digital synthesizer from the 1980s that used FM, frequency modulation, synthesis, which produced the distinct, clear, and metallic sounds that defined the new wave and pop music of that decade. A standard drum kit is a collection of drums, cymbals, and hardware arranged for a single player. Bass drum or kick drum, the largest drum, played with a foot pedal and beater. It produces deep, low-frequency sounds that anchor the rhythm and drive the tempo. Snare drum, the cornerstone of the kit, positioned directly in front of the drummer. Its sharp, crisp sound is defined by a set of snare wires, or snares, stretched across the resonant, bottom, head, which provide the essential backbit. Tom-toms, or toms, used primarily for fills, rolls, and melodic variation. Rack toms, smaller drums typically mounted above the bass drum or on a stand. Floor tom, a larger tom, mounted on its own legs, which provides a deeper, more resonant tone. Octobands, a specialized set of small diameter toms with very long shells, often tuned to different pitches to create unique, highly melodic fills. Hi-hats, a pair of cymbals, top and bottom, mounted on a stand and controlled by a foot pedal. They can be played open, creating a sizzling wash, closed, for a tight chick, or partially closed to offer a wide dynamic range for keeping time. Ride cymbal, the largest cymbal, typically used to maintain a continuous, articulate rhythmic pattern, or ride, often with the tip of the stick. It features a pronounced bell section for sharp accents. Crash cymbal, a thinner cymbal, typically struck on the edge to produce an explosive, high-volume accent or crash. China cymbal, an effect cymbal with a distinct inverted edge that generates a fast, trashy, and exotic sound, often used for dramatic impact. Drum sticks, wooden or synthetic dowels used to strike the drums and cymbals. Pedals, bass drum pedals are essential, with some drummers utilizing a double pedal or double kick to play 2 beaters with both feet, enabling rapid rhythmic patterns. Hardware, this term refers collectively to all the stands, mounts, and metal fittings, including bass drum spurs, cymbal stands, and tom arms, that hold the kit components in place. The integration of electronic technology has expanded the drum kit's capabilities dramatically. Electronic drum kits. These sets use mesh heads or rubber pads instead of acoustic drums. They are silent to play, but the pads send signals to a drum module, which is the brain that plays the sounds, such as samples or synthesized tones. Triggers. These are small sensors attached to acoustic drumheads that convert vibrations into an electronic signal. They are often used in the studio or live settings to replace the acoustic sound with a more polished sample, ensuring consistency and a professional tone. MIDI, Musical Instrument Digital Interface. This is the language that allows electronic instruments, like the drum module, to communicate with computers and other digital devices. A drummer can record their performance as MIDI data, like note on, off and velocity, rather than as an audio waveform. VST plugins, Virtual Studio Technology plugins. These are software instruments that operate within a digital audio workstation, or DAW. By sending the recorded MIDI data from the drum performance to a VST plugin, such as a virtual drum machine or sampler, a producer can access high-quality, realistic drum sounds that far surpass those built into a standard drum module. Cello, a large string instrument, lower pitched than a violin, typically played while seated. Dulcimer, a string instrument, often trapezoidal, played by striking the strings with small hammers. Harpsichord, a keyboard instrument where strings are plucked by small plectra, producing a bright, metallic tone. Scale length. On string instruments, this refers to the active length of the string from the nut to the bridge. It determines the instrument's fundamental tone, tension, and playability. Sitar, a plucked string instrument originating from India, known for its deep, resonant sound and complex overtones. Didgeridoo, a wind instrument, developed by Aboriginal peoples of Australia, characterized by its deep, sustained drone. Darbuka, a single-headed, goblet-shaped drum, prevalent in North Africa and the Middle East, used for complex rhythmic patterns. Koto and shamisen, traditional Japanese stringed instruments. Pan flute, a wind instrument made of multiple pipes, popular in South American music, especially Andean folk music. New wave, emerged from the late 70s, combining punk energy with electronic elements and synthesizers. Hard rock and metal, genres characterized by loud, distorted guitars, aggressive drums, and intricate, fast solos. Disco, funk, reggae. Disco is dance-oriented, funk is rhythm-focused with syncopated basslines, and reggae is Jamaican music defined by its offbeat guitar rhythm. Jazz, a genre originating in African American communities in the late 19th and early 20th century, defined by improvisation, syncopation, and polyrhythms. Grunge, a subgenre of alternative rock from the Pacific Northwest in the late 1980s, mixing punk and metal with a focus on raw, distorted sound and introspective lyrics. World music, a broad term that describes music mixing non-Western elements with Western popular forms. These artists pioneered technical innovation and demanding speed. Adrian Smith of Iron Maiden, master of complex, harmonized twin guitar arrangements. John Petrucci of Dream Theater, defined by his phenomenal technical accuracy, speed, and complex time signatures. Andy LaRocque of King Diamond, known for his dark, neoclassical shredding and intricate solo structures in metal. Motown and Quincy Jones, the sound that defined soul and pop, with Jones notably shaping the sound of Michael Jackson. This era also saw artists like Prince and Madonna pushing boundaries in production, performance, and visuals during the 1980s. The late 1960s saw a strong rejection of the establishment. This social movement sparked a massive countercultural musical boom, culminating in events like the Woodstock Festival in 1969. Janis Joplin of Big Brother and the Holding Company, her raw, powerful, and blues-infused vocals reflected the era's liberated energy. The Doors, known for their dark, poetic, and often controversial fusion of rock and psychedelia. Jefferson Airplane, pioneers of the psychedelic rock movement, their music became the soundtrack of the San Francisco counterculture. That concludes this extensive dive into the world of music. By defining the instruments, the notation, the key players, and the cultural movements, we have built a far more complex and useful vocabulary base. Remember, consistent effort is the only thing that leads to measurable results in language acquisition. Review these concepts, and listen for them in your next conversation about music history, culture, or technology. Now that the comments are open on YouTube, I invite you all to share your reactions, ideas, and requests below. Let's make sure we keep the discussion mutually respectful. Thank you for tuning into BYE, and I look forward to guiding your English boost in the next episode. Keep boosting your English. Bye for now.
Boost your English, it's the key. Listen to